You know, this isn't as magical as we all remember it.
No.
Run!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies with special effects that didn't age well. For this list, we're taking a look at movies that had impressive overall effects when they first came out, but now look pretty dated.
Astronauts, in the following order, will enter freezing tubes and prepare for launch.
We've excluded movies that looked crappy from day one, such as Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Impressive. You come prepared, but not good enough.
We're not even touching that one. Number 10, Lost in Space.
That's one cold fish I'd love to thaw.
Considering that this film was inspired by a corny sci-fi show from the 60s, the 1998 version of Lost in Space felt like a major visual upgrade at the time.
This database has star maps of all the known galaxy.
I don't recognize a single system.
Looking back on this adaptation, though, the effects have ironically aged similarly to the original source material. Lost in Space displays some of the worst CGI the late 90s had to offer, with poorly rendered creatures like Blarp and that creepy Dr. Smith spider acting as glaring examples.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
No, you were right, I couldn't kill the man. But I can kill the monster!
We can see where the movie's $80 million budget went, but none of it is put to effective use. It's a flick that certainly warrants a danger warning.
Got it, try it now.
Number 9, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
When The Phantom Menace initially hit theaters, audiences were blown away by the film's eye candy.
It looks like Skywalker's moving up the field.
Now, however, the effects are about as convincing as Jabba the Hutt in A New Hope's special edition.
You didn't think I was gonna run, did you?
Where the original trilogy still immerses us in a galaxy far, far away with its revolutionary practical effects, Star Wars Episode 1 just feels like a cartoon by comparison.
A droid army is about to attack the Naboo. We must warn them.
We shall no like the Naboo.
Every once in a while, there's a set piece that still manages to amaze. Alas, nothing can compensate for the computer-generated atrocity that is Jar Jar Binks.
Ha, word.
Number 8, The Mummy Returns.
Honey, what you doing? These guys don't use doors.
Stephen Sommers' original Mummy movie was a campy romp back in 1999. Time has only made the action-adventure campier, as the mummy itself is nothing but blatant CGI table scraps. Its 2001 follow-up is arguably even more laughable by today's standards. Not only does the mummy still look like Voldemort's decrepit cousin,
Oh, I hate mummies.
but the film also has quite possibly the worst CGI creature ever in The Scorpion King. While The Mummy Returns is only about a decade and a half old, the effects here look like an ancient artifact from a primitive period. Well, at least Dwayne Johnson got better over time.
Dwayne, sit Dwayne!
Number 7, Jurassic Park 3.
Head for the trays!
Jurassic Park notably claimed our number 1 spot for the top 10 movies with special effects that aged well. Given what a game changer the original film was, you'd think that its successors would be even more visually astounding. Yet Jurassic Park 3 managed to become a series low point in every conceivable way.
That's a very bad idea!
Where its predecessor almost flawlessly mixed digital effects with animatronics, this installment primarily relies on CGI puppets. As a result, you never believe the dinosaurs are really there, and all suspense is removed from the equation.
Don't do that again.
The Good Dinosaur felt like a nature documentary compared to this.
Spot! Spot! Come here, Spot, come here! Well, ain't you just the cutest thing?
Number 6, Flubber.
It's flying rubber. It's Flubber!
If you haven't already noticed, Filmmakers were exploiting CGI big time in the late 90s, and few movies exploited this innovative technology more than Flubber. The film is kinda like the computer-generated equivalent of dangling your keys. It's slightly amusing and colorful when you're little, but distracting and obnoxious when you start to grow up. The entire plot basically revolves around throwing this green hunk of gelatin at the screen, which gets old pretty fast.
Okay, Flubber. It's time that you and I got to know each other.
While it may have looked neat at the time, now it just feels like a commercial for high-C ecto cooler. Number 5. Virtuosity.
Game over.
You know how sometimes you replay an old Nintendo 64 or PlayStation game and say to yourself, I can't believe we actually thought this looked advanced back in the day. The same could be said about this virtual reality flick. Feast your eyes on the over-the-top world it creates, full of set pieces so ridiculous that they practically invite the actors to chew the scenery.
Now, where is the girl?
If a movie like this came out today, audiences would assume it was supposed to be an intentionally lame satire.
You're in my world now!
In the 90s, though, this was apparently what serious sci-fi looked like.
Get away from that! I'll kill you too!
Number 4. Flash Gordon.
Who are you?
Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets.
Flash Gordon is a rare movie in that it's at once become worse with time and also somehow better.
But do you know why it really failed?
I can't imagine.
There's no denying that this space opera is the epitome of silly, especially in the visual effects department. Everything about Flash Gordon feels artificial, but that is part of its retro charm, and why the film has developed an adoring following over the years.
Don't you love me?
I don't trust you.
It's your choice.
If watching the title character flee from Hawkmen on a space scooter doesn't put a smile on your face, nothing will. What's more, it's a movie you can laugh with, since few people on the set likely took the project that seriously.
Bring me the boar worms.
No! Not the ballworms!
Number 3. Tron.
I've got a little challenge for you, Sark. A new recruit.
When Tron first hit the scene in 1982, it was unlike anything audiences had ever seen. The film was a major landmark in computer-generated imagery.
Ram.
Let's be honest though, Tron was more of a preview for grander things to come. Today, it looks about as high-tech as a screensaver.
The MCP. The heart of the whole system.
This 80s cult classic still has a look that's all its own, and should never be forgotten for its impact on filmmaking.
Range, 9. Mark, 45. 48 degrees.
If you're looking for a movie with more polished effects, however, you're probably better off checking out its 2010 follow-up.
They're turning around.
Not by choice. Their vehicles aren't designed to go off-grid. They'll malfunction on this terrain.
Number 2. Superman.
Excuse me.
That's a bad outfit.
To this day, Richard Donner's Superman remains the best cinematic interpretation of the Man of Steel.
Well, I certainly hope this little incident hasn't put you off flying, miss.
While the film's drama, comedy, and mythos still hold up, the same can't entirely be said about its effects.
If you need a friend, I'm the one to fly to.
Superman might have made audiences believe a man could fly in 1978, but now we can spot every single blue screen effect. The film at least looks more sophisticated than some of the sequels that followed. In this day and age, however, the effects are about as conceivable as reversing time by spinning the Earth. Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
See you in hell, Jason!
Number 1. The Lawnmower Man.
Correct answer. Yeah! Hey, you did it. Very good. Let's play another game.
Although The Lawnmower Man seemed groundbreaking in 1992, its novelty lasted for about a second.
Once I've entered the neural net, my birth cry will be the sound of every phone on this planet ringing in unison.
Upon release, the only highlight of the film was its use of CGI, producing a cyber world and 3D characters.
You know what you really want, Marty? Watch this.
Oh my God! What are you doing? No, what are you doing?
Keep in mind, this was 1 year before the first photorealistic CG creatures were unveiled in Jurassic Park, and 3 years before the first fully digitally animated film, Toy Story.
Did I frighten you? Didn't mean to. Sorry. Howdy. My name is Woody, and this is Andy's room.
After those cinematic landmarks came out, The Lawnmower Man was rendered completely obsolete and quickly faded from our minds. Do you agree with our list? What other movies haven't held up in the special effects department?
Please, show me how to tune into Dale.
You have to persuade me much better than that.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Enjoying the show, Ed?